in a funny way to do these movies, and I mean I've been through this on Gladiator. Um, you have to figure out a timelessness to it.
Yes.
You cannot say you know, I remember on Gladiator right at the beginning somebody saying, oh yeah, well we should research the music of Rome. It's meaningless. It's sort of meaningless, you know, and we're not historians, but you know, and it's more to figure out you know, an emotional connection to that time. And I think in a peculiar way, I think I did by having, you know, by doing something as simple as going, hang on a second, there's a pub on every street corner and somebody's playing an out-of-tune piano. You know, by not being precious about things, by being extravagantly extrovert in a way, you know, and the idea of, rather than the you know, the homogeneous sound of the orchestra, that it was opinionated and it was polarizing, and there were conversations that went on with, you know, the producers or the powers at the studio. You know, will this work? Will this not work? And actually, them going as far as previewing the movie to see if the music was going to work.
Well, what struck me, and I'm being honest about this, I'm not blowing smoke. What struck me as I was watching it was how effectively you were managing the transitions in tone by telling the audience how to feel. In this case, the movie goes all over the place.
Absolutely, but you know, look. You know, let's not for a moment underestimate, you know, a guy who was straight away into this idea. I mean, very much bought into this. And
how much did you end up getting away with then?
Everything. I mean, down to the most, you know, the big. One big stumbling block was, you know, we have a big explosion scene, etc., and I scored it with a solo violin, you know, and there was a lot of resistance to this until we got to the preview, you know, and literally we get to the explosion scene and a complete stranger next to me goes, "That's brilliant," and I'm going, "Go and tell him," you know, because at the end of the day, you know, with all my pretend craziness, with all my pretend whatever, I still know that you know, I have a job to do. I have to deliver a movie that isn't, you know, Schoenbergian avant-garde. That's not what we're doing right now. We're doing a comedy.
But after 100 films, you have is that the right number?
Something like that. It's more than that, but who's counting?
You have the confidence now.
I don't.
You
know,
don't.
that's the amazing thing. I mean, look, honestly, I went to see Chris Nolan's movie, or bits of Chris Nolan's movie, as far as Chris had gotten yesterday, and I've been tossing and turning all night, going, I have no idea how to do this. I am not good enough to do this. I don't know how to do this. This is, you know, such a conundrum. This is, you know, and that happens on every single one. So
it's complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe less so. Okay, but you know, even with Guy, I mean, what now sounds like, you know, oh, it's just a bunch of notes and played with great joy, and it's a really simplistic score, really, and the tunes are on purpose really simplistic. But it took 7 months. You know?
Now, do you come up with a leitmotif for each of the characters in this kind of situation?
Well, I wanted to come up with.
Is there a Sherlock?
Well, there is, you know. Oh God, hang on, I have to find something to actually play on. Well, I suppose the easiest thing for it to play on right now is a piano. Yeah, I mean, it's so simple, you know. It was just literally. Being his idea and his quirkiness, and then, because I think he's actually manic depressive, so he keeps sinking further into, and he doesn't resolve ever, because if he can't keep going, he will be stuck in depression. So yeah, there is, you know, this, and that was sort of, that was the cornerstone for the whole thing.